thanks, Don. Thanks, everyone at Speakers Pathway Coalition for putting this together. Again, I am Doug Ottersberg. I am a servant, I'm a husband, and I'm a father. And I'm a business life strategist. We live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I've got a clinical hypnotherapy background. So I love sharing this message. I've shared this that I'm going to share with you today. It's helped my family, my clients, myself over the years. And some of this may be new to you, some of it may be familiar, yet either way, if you find yourself saying or thinking, I know that, just ask yourself, am I doing that as well as knowing that? All right. So if you're listening right now, it's highly likely that you, like me, are experiencing some results that you're not particularly thrilled about. All right. And again, if you're listening right now, it's guaranteed you are getting a result in every single area of your life. And yes, like I said, many of us are experiencing results right now that we're not particularly thrilled about. In fact, we're living in a moment in time where a substantial number of us, a number of people worldwide, are dealing with results of circumstances that are beyond their control. And we're sharing variations of that experience, again, at the same time. Now, as a problem solver, as a strategist, I'm often called upon to assist folks in times like this, when the results that they want aren't lining up with what they'd like, and that they're getting results that aren't happening, or they feel like things are beyond their control. In fact, that lack of control, it's the beyond their control part that really bothers most of us. Why? Well, it creates fear and it creates uncertainty. Now, fear, it's a natural, it's a normal response. It keeps us alive, and yet it hijacks the brain. It keeps that higher functioning part, like logic and reasoning, from operating. And unfortunately, right now, fear is being amplified at almost every turn. And in fact, for a lot of people, it's causing pain. Also, that fear and uncertainty, most people's top need, their top desire is certainty, right? And when that's threatened, regardless of a person's station in life, it literally has the power to overload them and prevent them from functioning properly. Now, in a former life, I owned a computer maintenance company. And, a lot of times people would call me, again, when things weren't functioning properly. So like in our case, how can we manage this fear and uncertainty and focus on what we can control instead of what we can't? Well, once again, as a computer technician back in the day, or maybe you've had this experience. Have you ever had, say, a computer or a printer or your phone or something that seems to be overloaded and it's not functioning properly? And you call tech support, and what's the first thing tech support usually says? What do they have you do? Yes, have you reset that, right? Reset it. And in fact, it appears the entire world right now is going through a reset. And like it or not, most of us now have the time where we can do a personal reset. So what can we do to manage this fear and uncertainty? By focusing on what we can control? Well, first of all, remember, if you're feeling out of control and that fear and uncertainty is causing pain, pain's inevitable. You're going to experience pain in life. The suffering part is optional. And I want you to really take that to heart. Remember that. You have the power to choose and decide what your experience of life is going to be, right? You get to decide. Now, when you're deciding, what results will you choose, right? What experience, what results will you choose? Again, under the stress of fear and uncertainty, some people devolve, right? They resort to ineffective behavior. And most of it's based on beliefs, what they believe about themselves and others and what they can and can't do. Their assumed limitations, all right? Faulty assumptions about what is or what isn't. or they devolve into victimhood and blaming. It's not their fault. They can't do anything. And one other one I see quite often is resistance to what is. All right. It is what it is, and you've got to deal with it. You might wish it was different, and you've got to deal with it. All right. So how do we deal with it? Just like others that deal with things and they keep moving. All right. So if you're given a choice, I believe the majority of people, when asked, hey, what result would you rather have than fear and uncertainty? Well, I'd say they'd certainly like to be happy and feel great. All right. So great. How do we do that during times like this, Doug? Well, let's talk about beards. Right? When you have a beard, can you believe that beards point the way to how to be happy and feel great? Let's quickly run through how this works. So if you're in a position where you can safely do so, you might want to write this down, all right? So about halfway down your page, write the word result, all right? So in every area of your life, you're getting a result, and it's one you want or it's one you don't want, all right? Would you agree? You're either getting what you want or getting a result that you don't. Now, above the word result, write action. Now, actions are your behavior, the things you do that get the result that you're getting. Actions, behavior. And can you not take an action or behave in a certain way and still get a result? Absolutely. So it's the actions you take or don't take that get the result that you want or don't want. Now, above the word action, write emotion. It's what you're feeling, all right? Emotions drive your actions. Now, above that word emotion, write the word belief. Everything begins in belief. Your thoughts, your beliefs, they dictate how you feel on the inside based on what's happening on the outside. All right? So what you believe creates the meaning that you're giving to everything happening on the outside, which causes you to feel a certain way, which causes you to take an action or behave in a certain way or not, just not do anything, which will get you a result. Again, one you want or one that you don't. So it's helpful to know why are you and why is everyone else looking for a result anyway? So underneath the word result, write the word desire. See, we all have desires and we have needs that we have to fulfill. And when we fulfill our desires and we meet our needs, how do we feel? Yeah, we feel happy, right? We feel the way we want to. So beard, if you look down now, everything is B-E-A-R-D. Learn it, live it, love it, all right? So how do we use beards to feel the way we want, to focus on what we want, all right? So to get a different result, you start at the beginning by focusing on what you want, the end actually. Start at the end. So what need or desire are you looking to fulfill? And then you can go back and say, okay, at each step of the beard, what do I need that to be in order to get what I want? For example, if the result now is I'm fearful and I'm stressed and I'm uncertain and unhappy, well, what would I rather have instead? Well, let's say I want to be happy and I want to increase my certainty. All right, well, what would I need to believe in order for that to happen? How do I want and how do I need to feel? Right? And what actions and behaviors do I need to take and not take? You see, first and foremost, write this down. Decide and live at cause instead of effect. All right? So we can't change outside events, yet we can change the meaning that we create about them. And we can control what's called like our internal representation of what's going on outside, the meaning that we give to that. You see, victims, they live at the effect. All right, you've heard them. They're defeatist. There's nothing that I can do. I'm a victim. Poor me. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Victors live at cause. Right. I'm going to figure this out. So how do we live at cause as opposed to effect. Again, it starts with the beard, all right? So number 2, focus on what you can control, all right? Focus on what you can control, because outside forces influence your beliefs, emotions, and results. Check out, what are you paying attention to, all right? What are you focusing on? So if you're getting your news, or if you're scrolling through the social media, just act, whatever those people are slinging, ask yourself, do I want to get emotionally involved with that? Right? When a thought or idea enters your mind, if it was put there by an external source, you've got to develop the skill and quarantine that thought and ask, is this going to help me to get what I want? And once in a while, notice how it makes you feel, all right? Because that's going to help you decide. You can use that as a gauge, because what you focus on, you're going to feel in your body. And whatever you focus on, expand. You're going to start to see that everywhere in your life. Now, so number 3, what can you control? See, most people automatically think they got to add things to their life to get the results they want. You know what? Many times it's easier to subtract things to get rid of the crap, all right? So just start subtracting the things and the people that are putting thoughts and ideas in your mind that aren't helping you, all right? News, social media, all right? Stop, subtract bad habits. Now's the time you can start working on those, or any ineffective behaviors you might be running, all right? All right, so also your faith. What can you control? Your faith. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. We've already heard about that several times. You know, the universe was created by the word of God, so that what is seen was not made out of things that are visible. So where's your faith? You have faith that everything's bad and it's not going to work and it's going to suck, or do you have faith that this too shall pass, that you'll always have what you need? Work on your beliefs. You can control what you believe about yourself, others, and about this situations, right? You can control the meaning that you give it. Life is happening for you, not to you. You can ask yourself, what's great about this? You know, we have 2 older children that have graduated college, and they were both in that transition into the world. One was living in New York. In fact, she had booked several shows, and she was on a TV show last night, but she had to come home. She's at home with her family, right? And we got to sit around and watch TV just like we used to do when they were young. But what's great about this whole situation is my family's together. Her brother, who had planned on going to work on a cruise ship, well, that ain't happening right now, but we are all together. All right, so what is the meaning that I'm giving this? I get to spend time with my family. We get to really sit and talk and do what is important to us, all right? So you can control your emotions. You can change how you feel by simply choosing what you want to focus on. Pick an emotion. Say, I want to feel happy. Just close your eyes and remember a time you were happy. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, and just feel that feeling of happiness. You can instantly create that emotion and feeling in your body at any time. And finally, you can control your actions and behavior. Keep a routine, right? Routines give you certainty and a feeling of control. Make sure you have some quiet time for yourself, and exercise. Get out there and walk, or there's a lot of great videos on YouTube to exercise at home. And finally, take care of your relationships with yourself and others. Have compassion for yourselves, and you can control the grace that you're going to give your others, because during these times, we definitely need all the grace and compassion that we can get. So I hope that that's helped you. And again, thanks, Don, for having me here. And remember, just what you focus on expands and you feel. So choose. Be very careful about what you choose to focus on.